Imagine suddenly discovering you have the power to disappear from one place to another, and using it, you can go from zero to hero in a day. That's exactly what happens in today's story. At the beginning of the story, we see a boy named David living an ordinary life in a small town. He had a crush on a girl named Millie in his class. One day, David gifted her a beautiful glass sphere. Millie was overjoyed, but then, to tease them, a boy named Mark snatched the gift and threw it into a frozen river. Despite Millie's disapproval, David rushed to retrieve it. As soon as David picked up the glass sphere, the ice beneath broke, and he fell straight into the river. The force of the water dragged him far away, leaving him unable to find a way out. Suddenly, David woke up and found himself in a library. He couldn't understand what had happened. He left the library and went straight home. He lived with his father, William. His mother, Mary, had left him when he was a child. William asked where David had been, but David didn't answer. Angrily, William tried to enter his room, but David stopped him. As soon as he entered, David suddenly disappeared into the library again. Now David had realized he could travel from one place to another in an instant. He returned to his room and, with the remaining money, he decided to start a new life in a new city. He then tested his powers in a park. Later, after looking at pictures of beautiful cities around the world in a magazine, he tried to go there. He saw a building he had visited with his mother as a child. Suddenly, all the things in his room began to levitate, and David vanished into that very building. Now he realized he could only travel to places he had been before. He decided to use his powers to rob a bank. He said he was going to the bathroom at the bank and went to the vault. Later that evening, he disappeared into the vault and looted the money to his heart's content. He would take a bag full of money to his room, then return to the vault to fill another. The next morning, an investigation into the bank robbery began. A man named Roland came in, claiming to work for the government. He then obtained videos of all the people who had entered the bank the previous month. He discovered that the vault hadn't been open for quite some time, and no one knew how the robbery occurred. Roland had some knowledge of people who can disappear from one place to another, and he believed someone like them must have done it. Years passed, and David now lived in a luxurious house in New York. He had everything he wanted and was free to do whatever he wanted. His entire house was filled with photographs from different parts of the world. He also had a secret room where he kept money from different countries. After this, David disappeared into a bar in London. He spotted a beautiful girl and, without fail, went to her. A man named Griffin witnessed all this. After spending the entire night with the girl, David went to Fiji to chill in the ocean. Then he went to Egypt. He sat on the top of a pyramid and ate. Elsewhere in a forest, a man was repeatedly disappearing and running away. But in reality, a wire was attached to him, preventing him from disappearing. Just then, Roland arrived, and the man asked him what he wanted. Roland said that anyone with such powers should be caught and killed. He then stabbed the man to death. Just then, Roland received a call about a bank robbery that had occurred a few years earlier. Meanwhile, David returned to his home in New York and saw that Roland was also there. Roland said he was investigating the bank robbery, but he wasn't in the police force. David told him to get out, but Roland started hitting David with a powerful electric shock using a device. David tried to disappear, but only managed to get a few meters away. Roland ran after him and electrocuted him again, knocking him down. He then shot a wire towards David, pinning him to prevent him from escaping. David tried to disappear again by crossing a wall and cutting the wire. He picked up several bags full of money and quickly disappeared. He then went to his father's house, where William told him to stay at home because he was very worried about his son. David said, "There's no need to worry about me," and disappeared again. The next day, David went looking for Millie. He saw her working at a bar. He also found Mark there, and the two started fighting again. David made him disappear and leave him in the bank vault. He then went to Millie and they started talking. He casually mentioned that he worked at a bank. During the conversation, Millie told him that she wanted to travel the world. Then David asked her to come with him to Rome, and she happily agreed. Griffin was hiding behind them, listening to everything. A few hours later, David and Millie were going to see the Colosseum in Rome. Mark had been imprisoned for being found inside the vault. Roland came to meet him there. Mark told him the truth about how he got into the vault. Roland was now searching for David and Millie in Rome. Meanwhile, in Rome, David and Millie's conversations turned into loving moments. That evening, David took her to the enclosed part of the Colosseum. Hiding from guards, he took her for a walk. There he met Griffin. Griffin revealed that he also had the power to disappear. He called people like him jumpers. He explained to David that people called paladins wanted to eliminate jumpers. At that very moment, two paladins arrived with their weapons. A fierce fight broke out, and David suddenly tried to escape, but an electric wire caught him. Griffin attacked both paladins from behind, saving David's life. He disappeared and went to his secret hideout. David saw that a trail was left behind him, which was called Jump Scar. David jumped into it and went after Griffin. Griffin pushed him and asked him to return, and David returned to Millie. David brought him out of the Coliseum, but before he could understand anything, the police came and caught him. On questioning, he started saying that he had gone into the banned areas by mistake. After this, a senior officer, who was actually his mother, Mary, arrived. Mary said he had only 30 seconds to escape the Paladins. Mary gave him the key of handcuffs, and David freely went to Millie. David sent her back to house for her safety. Meanwhile, Roland went to William's house and inquired about David, but William said he hadn't seen him in 8 years. David once again reached Griffin's secret hideout, where pictures of paladins from around the world were hung. David asked why they were after jumpers. Griffin explained that this battle has been going on for thousands of years. The paladins are a very religious people who believe that only God has the power to disappear. He explained that they would go to any length to kill David. This meant that William and Millie's lives were now in danger. David went to William and found him unconscious. He immediately disappeared and took him to a hospital to save his life. He then returned to Griffin and asked for Roland's location because he wanted to kill him. Griffin explained that he hadn't caught Roland in 10 years, but David knew Roland would go after Millie. They devised a plan, and David went to Millie's house. Millie said that she no longer wanted to be with him. Just then, Roland and his men arrived. David told her the truth about his powers. She ran away in fear, but David grabbed her and disappeared. He brought her to Griffin's hideout. Roland saw that the house was empty, but he found the jump scar. He took out a device and placed it on it, allowing them to go the same way the jumpers had gone. Seeing Millie there, Griffin became enraged, as the paladins would now reach their hideout, and that's exactly what happened. Suddenly, Roland arrived, tied David with a wire, and hung him from the beam. Meanwhile, Griffin attacked Roland with a flamethrower. A fierce battle ensued between Griffin and Roland, both displaying their powers. Griffin suddenly disappeared and bring the speedy bus that was about to hit Roland, but Roland escaped by jumping to the side. Roland was about to kill Millie, but Griffin threw fire at him, sending him back to the jump scar. Griffin also jumped in, and the two reached Millie's house. The fight began again. Griffin stole the device used to carry the jump scar and brings it to his hideout. The paladins threw a wire from the jump scar in the room and pulled Millie back. David wanted to save Millie, but Griffin took out a bomb and said he would kill all the paladins in one go. He was about to take the bomb to Millie's house, but David snatched the bomb and disappeared. Griffin ran after him, and a fight broke out between them. While fighting, they kept disappearing from one country to another, sometimes to Egypt, sometimes to New York. Sometime in San Francisco, the battle for the bomb's remote continued. Suddenly, they arrived at a battlefield, and Griffin got hold of the remote, but he didn't notice that a power pole was about to fall on him. David took him there, and Griffin was struck by a powerful bolt of lightning. Griffin, dying, told David not to go to Millie's house because the 5 paladins would kill him easily. But David would do anything to save Millie. He arrived, and the paladins hung him from the roof in an instant. David then tried with all his might to disappear, causing the entire house to shake. Suddenly, he, along with the entire house, disappeared into the river, where he first gained his powers. Some paladins drowned, and David took the house to the library. He saw that Roland was still alive. Finally, he took him and disappeared, leaving him alone on the desolate hills of the canyon. After some time, he reunites with his mother. Finally, Mary told him that she herself is a paladin. When David disappeared for the first time at the age of 5, Mary had to leave him with a heavy heart so that the other paladins could not reach him. Now they both could never live together, so David disappeared with Millie and started living his life in a new city. If you get a chance to choose, which superpower would you choose? Do tell us in the comments. See you in the next video.